Hi, you're watching Bob with Million Mile Garage. Hey, we're going to do a reupholstery job on our folding rear seat on our 73 Plymouth Duster using legendary auto interiors. The reason I showed that silent clip is I wanted to point out there are some possible differences between your 73 Duster and what you are going to get from legendary auto interiors depending on what month your Duster was built. So my Duster was built in July, so there's a slight difference between a 73 spec interior and a 74, and I'll show you what it is. So let's start with the 73. It comes with a shallow elk grain insert. That's this part here, which is this texture here. That's fine. That's exactly like my car was born with. And then it shows a coachman grain outer. That would be these parts here, as well as like would be on the back of these buckets. In the case of the folding rear seat, it would be this texture right here, all the way around, as well as this part here. And of course, on the bottom portion of the cushion, those outers would be that same coachman texture, as well as running all the way down the center of the top part of the folding seat. So it's a slight difference in texture that when I reupholstered my bucket seats years ago, I was a little disappointed by that detail, knowing that what I got to reupholster my car was not exactly what my Duster was born with. Now, probably most Dusters were born with this pattern, and probably when they were getting ready to retool in August and start cranking out 74 models, they probably already had the 74 spec upholstery coming in because nothing else had changed on these seats. I think even most of the colors were probably carryover, right, from the looks of it. So I would say what I got was a 74 spec upholstery in my Duster, which the inserts or the outer skirts never matched the grain on my door panels, which kind of I thought was a little weird. But again, you know, I've been looking at that upholstery for a long time since I was a kid, since they had the car since it was new. A minor detail, I thought this harmonized better with the interior, so I lived with it, and that's why I ordered the 73 spec for the rear as well to match the 73 spec that's in the car now. A very minor detail, but if you're a discerning collector and you're replacing, you know, a very old interior on a very original car, and you want it to basically look exactly like that particular car was born, it's probably an important detail to you if you're watching this. So I just thought I would share that with you. But anyway, let's go ahead and break into this, and we're going to do a full upholstery job on this seat today. Okay, I got the seat out of the car. I got the new cover sitting on top. Just a quick side-by-side showing you the two different textured panels we have here. We've got the coachman here on the new seat cover. You see it's very textured. And then you've got the Oxford right next to it, and you see it has very little texture to it. It's a very smooth-looking vinyl, so it gives a slightly different contrast. You know, when you're going up against the shallow elk inserts, you have a little bit more texture paired against that, versus if you have this right here, where you've got the very similar grain, right? You've got the shallow elk, and then the Oxford looks very similar to the elk almost. There's not much of a contrast there. Not a huge difference to me either way. Again, you know, personal preference. From a couple feet away, I can't tell one from the other really, so enough of a difference to make a difference? You be the judge. I'm going to start removing the hog rings that go all the way around the perimeter of the seat. It's just a bench seat, so we don't have any clips in the center. Just looking at the condition of this seat, it looks like the mesh is in pretty good shape. It's cut in a few places, probably where the wire was pushed through it. See how they got some music wire running through. I guess kind of either woven into the mesh, probably was. And then that's part of what kind of keeps the cushion from getting, you know, worn through the seat springs. You see all the seat springs are in really good condition. There's an original tag for the seat. I'm sure somebody that really knows the Mopar stuff could probably ID that and tell us what it is. That would be interesting, wouldn't it? Kind of cool. But anyway, I'm just going to grab a pair of end cutters. I'm just going to go around and start snipping these things off. And when I get all of these off, I'll peel the seat cover off. And then we'll see what kind of shape the seat cushion's really in. Okay, we peeled the seat skin off after we got the hog rings cut off, and you can see how disintegrated this is. You can see pieces of the seat cover remain on top of the cushion. The cushion is in amazingly good condition. I'm really thrilled about that. Austin's going to roll it over. That's all the hog rings falling off of it. We're going to have to sweep the floor up so we don't grind the hog rings into the softwood floor. But yeah, you can see how this is just disintegrated over the years. So we're not going to see any, well, maybe there's some maker's marks in here. I'm not sure what any of that means. I can see a Mopar emblem. That's kind of cool. Some other writing there. Not sure what that is, but Okay, sure. Over there, looks like something 6173, probably June 6th, 73 maybe, something like that. 673, there we go, that's real clear right there. 6 with an arrow, and then 73. I'm going to say that was probably June of 73 is when they did that. Yeah, there's another mark right there. You can see it pretty good. June of 73. That's probably when that was made, I would think, right? Or when the material was made or stamped. I don't know if they stamped that after they sewed it. They probably did. Guessing. Don't know. Anyway, you can see this is really used up. Oh, a pair of pliers. I wonder where those went. Sure. Okay, we'll start fitting out the new cover on there. We got a couple options. I can use hog rings, and in the past I've also used zip ties. I just use a sharp object like an awl to make the hole and then zip tie it in place, and that seems to work as good as anything. Really, it's your choice on something like that. The correct factory way to do it would be to reuse the hog rings, which is not a huge deal. The Europeans for years have used zip ties to put their seat covers on. Not that I'm saying that's the right way to do it. But anyway, we'll get on with it. We'll do a little cleanup here, and then we'll get the new skin on. Yeah, there's some of the carnage. Rusty hog rings. You don't want to cut yourself on those. Nasty. Yeah, exactly. All right, get ready to fit this on. Cushion's in great shape. Just notating here, Legendary does put a tag on there. They put a date. The sewer's initials, and that was April 8th of 21. Job order, that's nice. I guess 72 Chrysler. V for Value Line, right? Valiant. Okay, cool. The reason that date is so long ago, because this is, what is this? January 9th, 2024. This was ordered during COVID, and it took me, I think, over a year to get it. I don't think this arrived until July of 22. So it's been in a box for 2 years. So yeah, it's been a while. But yeah, we'll get this on, and I bet this is going to work just fine. Okay, I just kind of slid this on. I still got a lot of wrinkles because this has been in the box for a couple of years, but no big deal. Those are going to come out. Just wanted to show you. I'm going to start attaching it right here first. And it looks like I got the hump lined up perfectly with the hump on the frame, which is good. All I did was just pull it over here and then pulled it down under here best I could on each end here. There. And then I'm just going to take my new hog ring pliers, which I got at Harbor Freight, and these are 3102s. Those are going to work great. And then I just swung by Tractor Supply and got what they call Decker's Easy Close Center Bend D-Style Upholstery Rings 100. I would say these were not reasonably priced, but considering they were probably the only place in town I could get them last night, that's what I did. And I'll get this thing rolled over, and I'm going to start from the center, and then I'm going to work my way out on each end, and we'll start with that first. All right, I just went in and just grabbed the center of the seat skin first on the center spot on the hump, and this hump looks like it's like perfectly aligned. I got these pulled over nicely. These seams look like they line up good on each end. That's going just fine. And then I'm just gonna kind of work from the center out. I'll go this way a little bit. I'll go this way a little bit, and just keep going until I get down to the ends and get that done first. Okay, we're coming along. I get this stapled down all the way down to here on this end, all the way down to this end. And I'm just gonna have to keep working this around. I got a lot of stretching to do here, as well as here. I'm gonna try to get these wrapped around. I think I'm gonna wrap these around first, and then I'll basically gonna have to roll the seat over and start pulling this cushion over from underneath and grabbing it around and grabbing it in here. And yeah, hopefully all these wrinkles will come out. I'm pretty sure they will. Oh yeah, that'll be just fine. I may have to make some adjustments in here. I know the factory seat they had grabbed, I think they grabbed one over here and hung off of one of these springs or something to get some tension, but we'll see how that works out. But the goal is obviously I want to get those wrinkles out when I get the cover installed. All right, we're coming along. I still got to do this little piece right here, but I went ahead and decided to pull it tight on this end. You can see where I'm at so far. I'm gonna have to do the same thing. I'm just gonna have to work my way around, catching all of these holes as I go. And then I'll just wrap it all the way around. And hopefully when I get this pulled nice and taut, most of these wrinkles should come out. I'm gonna go over this with a heat gun as well. I may have to go in and make some adjustments in here, just, you know, maybe pulling a little more that way and a little more that way just to get that wrinkle out. But it looks like it's coming along pretty good. All right. I'm just going to heat up this corner area right in here. I'm having a hard time getting it to wrap around the bottom. Pull it nice and tight. Get this whole area warm in here, then I'll pull it over and staple it. Yeah, I'm just going to pull this material around right here and staple it in that hole right there. Yeah, you see where I got this pulled around here, and I got one more spot I can grab there. And then I think I get some area in here I can play as well. You see this is pulling down nice and tight. That looks pretty decent. That's looking real good. I still got to come over here and grab the other side here and pull this down, do the same deal. That's lining up just fine. And I still got a little bit of work to do right in here. I'll pull this down a little more tighter, put a little heat on it. I'll get that last little wrinkle out on the back there. That'll look just fine. Oh, that looks pretty decent. I did take just a hair dryer, went around this hump right here and heated it up a little bit to relax it and got most of the wrinkles out, so that looks pretty decent. I got a few wrinkles here just from it being folded in the box. I got some here too. I did put just a little heat on it just to get them to relax and get this to tighten up a bit. This looks really nice. So I think that'll be fine. I'll probably let that sit overnight and then we'll take a look at it in the morning. Everything seems to fit out really nice. We don't have a lot of wrinkles. Everything lines up really nice. I don't have any weird pinching or anything. Everything looks really good. Looks decent. Yeah, real happy with that. Yep. I can stretch on this a little more, but that fits pretty decent too. Not bad. I got a little tiny lump right there, which I think is just in the foam. No big deal. It's in the corner. So yeah, I'm happy with that. Not too shabby. Sure. Okay, we're about, I guess about 20 hours later, next day here. It's a Sunday, and just coming in and taking a look here. I'd say there's considerably less wrinkles in it than when I walked away from it yesterday afternoon, so I'm real happy about that. Still got a little wrinklage right here, which will come out on its own over time. I'm going to stop adding heat to it. This piping was kinked probably from day one when they folded it up in the box, so I don't know if that's ever going to come out. You can see that kind of lines up with all the other really nasty creases and wrinkles right there. But again, this will come out over time, but it's probably going to take some time. Probably leaving it in the car for, probably might take several months, who knows. But it looks pretty good. I'm pretty happy with that. We'll do the other seat skin next time. I'm exhausted. They kind of wore me out. My hands are killing me. Kind of beat them up a little bit. And yeah, they're tired. And we'll do this one. You know, again, it's been wadded up in a box for a couple of years, so that's going to be a little wrinkly in some spots too, but no big deal. Looks like that's got a nice pre-wrinkle to it right there. I'm not sure that would ever come out either. But hey, seat covers are never perfect. The ones that were in the car weren't perfect either, so no big deal. I'm happy with that. In case you're wondering, that is a Benrus military spec watch, and this one actually has a contract date of July 73 on the case back. So it matches the build date of my 73 Duster. Kind of cool, huh? I got it on a tire tread band. Yeah, I'll show you the back of it just in case you don't believe me. Oh, there we go. I got it off the wrist. Let me roll it over so you can see the contract date. See that right there on the bottom of the case back? It says date, July 1973. It's got the serial number. It has the official contract number above that. And then it has a Fed standard number. We can focus on that right there. Fed stock number. Pretty cool. So any of you guys who are Bullitt fans, this was the wristwatch that Steve McQueen wore as Frank Bullitt in the movie Bullitt, except his was the civilian version. It had a polished case and it had a gloss black dial, and his was mounted on a big fat leather strap. Kind of cool, huh? So thanks for watching. Hit like and subscribe, and we'll get the top seat cover on in the next video. Take care.